tutorial on how to get started with the spreadsheet you downloaded from cashtrending.com. So right now it looks like a pretty blank spreadsheet, nothing too fancy. And I'll start very slow, keep it very simple. And you should be able to build on that pretty quickly. So the first thing you want to do is start with a date. I would pick today. So today is August 22nd, 2022. Once you put your date in, you need to refresh a pivot table. So click refresh all, and that's the last time you'll ever have to do that. The next part of the setup is to get your cash balance of the checking account, of your main checking account. So we'll make up some numbers here and say you have positive $1,000 in as your cash balance, and that would be the available balance you have today. So if we look at what cash looks like through time, there's $1,000. Let's go back to the input. The first thing we'll put in is a salary. So we'll call that salary. Let's say you get paid every other week. And the due date, let's say you get paid on Friday. Let's say we get paid this Friday, so that's 8/26. We don't plan on having any end date, and every 2 weeks we get paid $2,000 take home. So you see that there's our first paycheck, the 26th. We don't get a paycheck the next Friday, but the Friday after that, on the 9th, we get another paycheck. You can take a look at that in the monthly report, and you can see in December there are 3 Fridays. Most of the time there's 2 Fridays, and you can get a look at on what you're making through time. We look at the cash chart. If all you did was get your salary and did nothing else, this is what your money would look like. This is a ideal line, but that's not how it's going to end. Let's go back to input, and let's say we pay rent every month, and let's say that's the first of every month. So let's say the next rent check is due 9/1/2022, and let's pick a number for rent and say it is $2,500. We live in an expensive place. Notice that was a negative because we're going to be spending that money. This is monthly. Or you can select start of the month, and we'll call this rent. And we'll take a look at now at cash. Still going up. So if all you did was get your salary and pay rent, you would have $75,000 by December of 2025. But again, not realistic because you got to eat. You need some other things like heat, electricity, water, and you would put all those in. So that's the basics. You can start with that, keep it very simple. You know, you can have your credit card bill due on the 20th of next month. We can call that credit card bill. That is a monthly expense. And here's where you kind of estimate, and you say, well, how much can I put on my credit card every month? Let's say we spend $2,000 a month. And take a look at what our trend is. Okay, so this is bad. We won't notice it's bad until October. But if we look at the balance of our checking account as we go through time, this is sloped down. This is trending down. So you can't spend $2,000 a month. You can make that, let's say, $1,700 a month. And let's take a look at that. Okay, it's going up, not bad. We do have a negative here in December, so we can go and take a look at that if we go to the first negative day. So in this case, rent's due December 1st, 2022, but we get our paycheck on Friday, so that's why the balance drops to minus 100. In this case, what you can do is you could maybe not pay your credit card off completely on the 18th, and we can hard code that in as minus, say, $1,600. And we'll have to kind of know that we're going to carry a balance potentially there. And now there are no longer negative days because you have enough money to pay for your rent and wait for your salary. So this is a very simple example, but the idea is put all your inputs, your salaries, your bonus, anything that you know is coming in for money, put all your known debits or payments you're going to be making, and then watch how your trend or your cash balance is affected based on that. And the sheet can do a little bit more. There's, everything's in this input tab. Cash and monthly report are the main things you might want to look at because you can check that your input is correct. Here's my rent every month, $2,500. That's easy. Here's my credit card bill every month, $1,700. Here's that one that's different, $1,600. And I use this to check that my inputs are correct. I use the cash tab to see if my input or my income is greater than what I'm spending. And then I use the input tab to not only put all my inputs in, but I also use it to, when it comes time for my credit card bill, let's say October, I did a little better on my spending and it didn't cost me $1,700 and it was only $1,500. I would put that in. And this allows me to, when I put my actual bills in to these cells, when the time comes, I can then balance my checkbook because this number should match what I have in my checking account. So that's the tutorial gets started. You don't need to use this. If you wanted to, you can go into sample data and follow the instructions, cut and paste this entire block into input C4. And you can play around with this. This has the credit card function, which is where you can put bills on your credit card and watch your credit card balance, or have the system calculate what your credit card balance will be, because you see some things here like maybe your car insurance is on your Visa card. Well, that happens every half year. So you don't want that to be a surprise when it happens. It's a big bill. So put it down and you can then see how it's going to affect not only your cash trend, but as that date arrives when your bill is due, you'll be able to make sure you have enough money in the bank to pay your bills and to have the cash you need in order to, keep the lights on and do what you need to do. So that's all. Hopefully you use the file. If not, that's great. I don't know who I'm talking to. 0 people will see this. Bye-bye.